Taika Waititi. Waititi. Taika Waititi says he will not direct Guardians 3 and replace James Gunn.
His quote was awesome.
What was it?
I don't know if Riley has it in there. He basically just said, like, if it's like being a dad. It's like walking into a house and being like, "No, I'm your new dad, and here's how we make our peanut butter sandwiches." That's not what it is. He doesn't want to be in James Gunn's house.
Yeah.
Like he's done this amazing thing with the franchise, and he doesn't want to step in. He said it more elegantly than that.
Yeah. So let's bring that up a little bit, guys. Go to the top one. What's that top one?
That's
I see. For me, those are James Gunn's films. Going into something like that with his stamp all over his films would be like going into someone's house and saying, "Hey, I'm your new dad, and this is how we make peanut butter sandwiches." Now it feels kind of awkward. That's pretty much what you said.
Yeah.
Which the thing is, the reason I don't feel like every director is going to feel this way. The reason Taika is in the Marvel family. Taika has probably had many conversations with James Gunn. Taika has, they've probably have had conversations about this in general.
I think they're friendly.
Yeah.
So he's also he's a very in-demand director right now.
Yeah.
Which one?
It's not Taika Waititi and so I understand Marvel wanting to go after somebody that was already in the house that kind of understood how we do things around here and where we want to go with our universe, but I also understand Taika Waititi being like, I think I'm good. I don't need this kind of I don't think there'd be a huge fan backlash against him. I think there'd be minimal backlash as opposed to if you brought somebody else in. But I feel like Taika Waititi, he's working on The Mandalorian. He's got other movies. He's got that bunny movie that actually harkens back to World War II, where Scarlett Johansson is coming out. Jojo the Rabbit, I think. And then he's also got the What We Do in Shadows. He's producing that. So he's got a number of stuff on his plate.
I think that he said that they hadn't really had conversations with him yet. He was just saying this off the bat. So I don't even know. I'm sure Marvel was interested in him, but I think he was just kind of saying, I haven't even had many conversations with them. But so don't.
Right. Here's a question then. Because let's say I happen to think that there are a lot of directors out there that have a chance and will do a very good job with this movie that's not connected to Marvel already, and maybe
don't have any. Runner?
Not now. And maybe they don't have any ties with Marvel or James Gunn. I mean, look, I think Matthew Vaughn would be interesting, but who knows? He'd be interesting. But
how wild would be if they got Snyder?
Well, here's another question, though. Because time heals wounds, right?
Yeah.
Is there a chance that if a little bit of a break happens in all these other movies, that James Gunn, I know he's doing Suicide Squad, I know that all this stuff's happening, is there a chance that James Gunn and Disney tie things up and James Gunn can indeed return for the third movie?
I mean, you really got to see how it plays out as far as, because he's going to be working on Suicide Squad 2 for a while.
Yeah.
Can't imagine Marvel doesn't want to get Guardians 3 going before that happens, because this was going to be the linchpin of your universe going forward. This was going to be part of the core that, along with Black Panther and Captain Marvel and then Spider-Man popping in, everything, that's what's going to carry our MCU going forward. Nice to have Doctor Strange, nice to have Black Widow making movies, but this is the crux of our universe going forward. So I can't imagine they're going to put it on the back burner. I think they already have had to put Guardians 3 in the back burner.
Right.
So some of the stuff that they were going to introduce in Guardians 3 that's going to open up this universe, maybe that happens in Captain Marvel, that happens in a Doctor Strange movie, because they have to course correct a little bit. But
is there a chance,
also, timeline-wise, didn't Gunn already write the script?
Yeah, but I think that they said they were going to scrap the script. I mean,
no, I don't think that they are scrapping the script.
I thought they were.
I know that they're scrapping him as director, but I was under the impression they were still keeping the script.
Well, you could bring in somebody to polish it and do a pretty heavy rewriting of it. If I'm Marvel, I'm not waiting around until James Gunn is actually feels like time has healed it and is done working on his other projects.
It's not a matter of James Gunn feeling that, though. That's the thing, is because what I'm saying is there's a stink on it. There's a stink on it from a lot of the fans, right? There's a stink on it from
Guardians 3?
Yeah, just because of the way that it was handled in general, and there's certain things that the way it all went down, that maybe any director coming in is going to have a tough shot. But look, the flip side to that is when Edgar Wright left, very different circumstances, obviously. But when Edgar Wright left, and then it was like, oh, Adam McKay's coming in, screw that guy. And he takes off and has a wonderful career after that one week of working on Ant-Man, and then he best move of his life. But then they get Peyton Reed. Who's that guy? What do they do? Peyton Reed, why are they bringing him in there? And Peyton Reed was supposed to do Guardians. Peyton Reed was supposed to do Guardians before James Gunn was. So 2 questions here is that, 1, people loved what Peyton Reed did with Ant-Man 1, and 2, is there a chance Peyton Reed can do Guardians 3?
It could be somebody in the house. I feel, and I said this at the time James Gunn was fired, is that I was totally against the reasons why he got fired. But I also, I think you'd be hard pressed to show fans James Gunn's Guardians 3 and show them Director X's Guardians 3, and you tell me the difference.
Oh, you'll know. Yeah.
No.
You don't think you will know?
I think that it's very, very few directors, and James Gunn's a very good director.
Yeah.
I think there's very few directors out there that are so crucial to a project like an MCU film that we can't make this movie good unless that person comes in.
Oh, that I agree. As far as good goes,
Yeah,
I agree with you. But
I think that if I showed you Taika Waititi's Guardians 3 versus James Gunn's Guardians 3, I don't know that a lot of fans would be able to tell the difference. And even going off that,
is pretty different.
I don't think that there's a big stink already, because as soon as you announce a director, people may get excited over the moon about it. They may be like, oh, that person. But either way, most of the general public is not going to know about any of this crap, and they're going to know that, oh God, Star-Lord and the raccoon are back. Right. So they're going to go see the movie regardless. And I love James Gunn. I just think that there's very precious few directors where we cannot get this movie made unless this person does
it's more of a political thing now than it is anything else. And I mean, there's some people maybe not taking the job because they want to make a stand to support their friend, and there's other people. It's just a murky situation. I don't disagree with anything you said. I just think that it's going to be harder for Disney to find somebody, because you look at Taika Waititi, who's saying, I don't want to go in there because it's James Gunn's house.
I think in-house it's going to be tougher to be like, oh, hey, you're already working on a Marvel movie. Right. Do you also want to do this? I think you need to bring somebody new.
I don't think Disney's ever going to bite their nose to spite their face, though, in this situation. Or I think that they are, because I don't think they would ever offer him the job back.
I don't disagree with you.
It's Disney.
Yeah.